Hey all, Tony Bing here, hello and welcome back to another Tier 4 Essentials video for Marvel Strike Force. Now today we look at what was touted as the premier raid team in the game. I'm not really sure if that is the case, to be honest, but it's the Wakandans we will be looking at today. We have 5 characters in total to look at, so you've got Black Panther, Killmonger, Okoye, M'Baku, and also the legendary character Shuri as well. So in the video we'll run through all their upgrades, we'll see the difference between level 6 and 7 for active skills, 4 and 5 for the passive. I'll let you know which ones you want to upgrade, and then at the end of the video I'll put them all on screen as a list as well. So that way, if you want to take a screenshot of it and keep it for future reference, you're certainly able to do so. But let's jump in, and we'll start off with my favourite character of the Wakandans, Black Panther. Now, before we go in here and actually break this down, I'll just mention with the Wakandans, they're a team that you need to put a whole lot of investment in if you actually want to upgrade them. So there'll be a lot of abilities that I will recommend you max out if you want to make the most of them. Now, the first one we start off anyway is the Claw Slash, which is the basic. This is a primary target attack, but it also has a chance to apply slow as well. Now, when this is maxed out, you gain an additional 30% damage, and the slow jumps from 90% chance all the way up to 100% chance. Now, with Black Panther, it's all about getting kills on them so you can get the chain going. So for that reason, I would say that this is one you want to upgrade. Normally 30% damage on a single target wouldn't be one I would recommend, but if it gets you that extra kill on Black Panther, then it's getting you another turn, so it's definitely worthwhile. The next skill we have here is the special. This is called Hunter's Spirit. Now, it's another single target attack. With this one you can gain offense up for 2 turns, and on crit you will gain counter as well. Now, the difference from level 6 to 7 in this is 40% damage, which is more than we actually had on the basic. However, I would say that you don't want to upgrade this one. The reason being, the basic will be available every turn. This one is only available every 4 turns. So when we look at all the other upgrades that are available for the Wakandans, I don't feel this one is really worthwhile there. Now, when you then move on to the ultimate, this one's called Panther Rush. This is a move that is heavily worked into the kit with Shuri and how the charges work for Black Panther. So this can either be a chain attack or it can be an AoE that hits everyone, and it really can absolutely decimate the other team. Now, when we look at the difference from level 6 to 7 on this, it's 30% damage to potentially all characters if you're charged, and it's an additional 5% crit chance as well. It moves from 15% up to 20% crit chance. Because Black Panther is so reliant on getting kills and getting the chains, this is another one that I would say that you do want to max out. Now, finally for Black Panther, we have the passive, and this is really what defines him. This is called Defender of Wakanda. So with this particular one, when you drop below 50% of max health, you'll gain charges. You can also gain those charges from Shuri as well. But the most important part is on kill, you'll fill speed bar by up to 100%, and your speed bar overfills. So let's say you're at 90% for your speed bar and you get a kill, you'll then get a turn and it will go all the way up to 90%, which means very soon you will be getting another turn as well. And if you get multiple kills, it just keeps filling and filling. And I've had instances in raids where Black Panther starts to beat enemies and he just goes until the end of the match. It's absolutely amazing. Now, the difference with this one is 20% speed bar on kill. It's without a doubt worth maxing out, and it's one of the most important upgrades I would say for the Wakandans when it comes to actually running the full team. So for Black Panther, that would be the basic, the ultimate, and also the passive. There could be an argument for the special as well, using the rationale I use for the basic, but again, as mentioned, because there's so many to upgrade here for now, I would hold off doing that. But if you're a huge Black Panther fan, by all means feel free to go full tier 4 on everything for him. The next character we'll check out anyway will be Okoye. We start off here looking at the basic for Okoye. This one's called Spear Strike. So you're attacking a single target and you're also clearing a positive effect with this. Now, when you max this particular one out, you'll gain an additional 20% damage, but your chance to clear a positive effect goes way up, because when it's maxed out you gain an additional 50% extra focus for this attack, which is incredibly useful. I do feel it's a bit of a cheap way to actually force people into an upgrade, because Akoi, her kit is all about cleansing, and her focus is actually really pretty low, so she needs this additional 50% in order for a cleanse to be successful. So it's one you have to max out, but it's a very reluctant upgrade, I would add. Now, next up we have this special. This one here is called Precision Strike, so you're attacking a single target, you're applying defense down to them, and you're chaining to one adjacent target as well. The difference from level 6 to 7 in this is 40% damage, because you're only hitting 2 targets maximum, and it's not really integrating with the passive in Black Panther when you get assists in the same way to get the kill streak going on them, because you won't be using this move as part of an assist. I would say that this is one you just want to keep at level 6. For the ultimate, we have Aerial Impalement. This particular one, you'll gain a fence up, you'll attack a primary target for full piercing damage, and you'll change their speed bar as well. Now, the difference from level 6 to 7 is 30% piercing damage, which is pretty nice on a single target, and the speed bar change goes from, rather than 30% at level 6, it jumps up to 50% at level 7. This is one that just misses out. It is pretty decent because lowering the speed bar more and getting the full piercing is nice, but there's so many other upgrades to go for. So this one I'm saying just keep it level 6, and a bit like Black Panther and some of his upgrades, if you really are going hard on the Wakandan team, you have a lot of tier 4s, then it wouldn't be the worst option to actually upgrade this. Now, to finish off, for Akoi, we have Dora Milaje. This particular one here, the parts of it that don't change are the charge mechanic and how that works and the assists, but what does change, and this is exceptionally important, and you can actually see it at the top under the assist counter information, is that you've got that up to 50% piercing that you can do. The difference is 20% piercing between level 4 and 5, but this applies to all attacks. So it applies to your basic, your special, your ultimate, and it applies to your assists as well, which you will be doing a ton of. So this is exceptionally important, and this is one that without a doubt you want to max out. So when we look at a Akoi enemy, it would be the basic and the passive you would max out. If you've got additional tier 4s, then you can't really go that far wrong by upgrading that ultimate as well, just to really get the most out of her. Now, next up, we'll have a look at Killmonger. Killmonger then is a character that has some exceptionally powerful tier 4 upgrades. Now, the first one we look at is his basic, which is called Focus Fire. So you'll be attacking the primary target, you have Drain on that attack. If you're lucky enough to crit, and you will be critting often with him the way his kit's set up, then you'll bonus attack up to 2 times. So it means you can actually be attacking 3 times on the same target. With this one as well, the difference from level 5 to 6 is 40% damage on the primary attack, you gain additional 10% drain, but you're also doing the additional damage on the bonus attack, which you get from critting, and it guarantees that you always get 2 bonus attacks as opposed to 1. So maxed out with this one, you get an extra 10% drain, but you could actually be looking at an extra 120% damage on a single target as well, which is absolutely incredible. So this is one that you definitely want to max out. Now, the special we have, this is called Full Auto. This one, again, you're attacking a primary target, you're actually attacking them multiple times. You can gain a fence up as well with this. The difference from level 6 to 7 is 40% damage once again, but because you are attacking multiple times, it means in effect, if you take out armour, which will pull this down a little bit, but in effect you're doing up to 120% extra damage. So once again, another one that you want to max out. Moving on to the ultimate, this is called Battle Frenzy. So with this one, you attack your primary target in the first instance, you'll then chain to up to, it'll be 5 adjacent targets at level 6, or you chain to everyone at level 7. If you crit, you throw out a mine and that does additional damage. From level 6 to 7 on this one, you'll gain an additional 30% damage on your chain, and you gain 25% damage on that mine that he throws out. So that means you could be doing up to an additional 55% damage to all. So once again, this is another one that I would say that you definitely want to max out. Now, finishing up anyway, we have Retribution, which is a passive. So with this one here, on defense up, you attack the most injured enemy, so that will bypass taunt. On kill, you're gaining health, and also you gain drain as part of his kit, and you can gain counter attack in raids as well. Now, the difference from level 4 to 5 in this is a rather whopping 70% damage on defense up when he attacks that most injured enemy. So this is another one that I would say is really worthwhile, because you'll fire this off very early in the match after the likes of Akoi and Black Panther have had their turn, and it means in a lot of instances you can actually burn down a character turn number 1 if you do max this out. So for Killmonger, I would say that's absolutely everything you want to max out for him, so a very expensive character to upgrade there. Now the next one we'll look at will be M'Baku. So we now have the Protector of the Wakandans, M'Baku. Now we start off with the basic. This one's called Cudgel Slam, so the difference from level 6 to 7 is an additional 40% damage, and it's just to a primary target, so for that reason just keep this one at level 6. We have Call of the Mountain up next. This particular one, when it's maxed out, you're gaining taunt, you gain 2 counter, you'll gain 2 charged up to a maximum of 5. Now if you only take this up to level 6, your counter goes from a chance of between 1 to 2. At level 7 it's a guaranteed 2, but the important part of this upgrade is you can get an additional charge, so it's giving you the 2 charged whenever you cast this. It's on a low 3 turn cooldown. What a charge actually equates to when you're attacked in a raid is gaining back an additional 10% health. So for that reason I would say this is one that you definitely want to upgrade. It can make them extremely hard to take down. Now for the ultimate we have Jabari Avalanche. This one, you're attacking the primary target and all adjacent targets. If you kill one of those targets, then he essentially just repeats the move again. I still stand by the fact that this is a pretty complicated tooltip and he could have worded it another way, but that's how this one works. Now from 6 to 7 it's 60% damage to all the adjacent targets. If you get the kill, you're then doing the move again and you're getting that 60% additional damage on all of them as well. So this is another one that I would personally max out. We finish up M'Baku then with the passive. This is called Ancestral Mace. So this one here, on defense up you'll be healing. When you have charges you'll have up to 100% block chance, which is insane, and up to 50% additional block amount on top of what you already get. You'll, in raids, heal for 10% of your max health when you block, and that's why it was important to upgrade the special to level 7, and also in raids you gain an additional 25% block chance. Now the difference from level 4 to 5 in this is 5% additional health on defense up, so it moves from 10% to 15, and also an additional 25% block amount when you actually block, so you can really negate a ton of damage and gain health back as well when a character or an enemy attacks you. So this is another one that I would say that you want to max out here. So for M'Baku, that would be the special, the ultimate and the passive that I would say you would want to max out. If you're going purely to make him really a protector, then it's just the special and the passive, but the ultimate is one that can definitely pump out some extra damage for you. Now the final character we'll look at will be the legendary Shuri. We start off here with the basic for Shuri then. This is called Vibranium Gauntlets. This one here will be attacking a primary target and all adjacent targets, so splash damage the way it works, and you can apply a heal block as well. From level 6 to 7 you gain 50% damage, but that's not important because Shuri's base damage is so low and she's not there to put out damage at all. The heal block moves from 1 turn to 2 turns, which is nice, but with all the other upgrades we're looking at, I don't feel this is one that would be actually worthwhile. She does have high focus, which means that the heal block will most likely apply, but even still I wouldn't upgrade this one, just keep this at level 6. For the special, this is called Instant Upgrade. This one here, you're applying defense up to self and all allies for 2 turns. You're applying charge to self and Wakandan allies, and that can really get that team going, and you can generate ability energy as well. Now, the difference from level 6 to 7 on this is that you can generate ability energy for 1 random Wakandan ally. A lot of the characters it would go to, it's not actually that useful to get that additional energy in turn number 1, and it can't go to Shuri. This is something that I had to upgrade it to test it, and then support wouldn't roll it back for me, unfortunately. So I've personally got this one maxed out, but I wouldn't recommend you do it. I would say that you only want to take this one to level 6. Now, the ultimate, which is Kimoyo healing. This one you're healing the most injured ally for a small amount of health. You're then healing them for a percent of Shuri's health. If the ally's Wakandan, you're clearing negative effects and you repeat the move. Now, you can cast this at level 6 4 times. At level 7 you'll cast it 5 times. because if a character has heal block, the first turn is wasted. This is one that I would say just scrapes into upgrading, because what it essentially means, if a character has heal block and you cast this on them, the first turn will be wasted, but you get that additional turn at the end, which means you will then be healing them for 15% of Shuri's max health. So this is one that I would say you want to upgrade. Finally, we have the passive Wakanda Forever, and there's quite a lot going on with this one. So on spawn, you apply speed up to self and all Wakandan allies. On turn, you can heal the most injured ally. On defense up, you can generate ability energy for self, and in raids you offer a ton of various different buffs to Wakandan characters as well. The difference from level 4 to 5 is that your speed up is either going to be for 2 random Wakandan allies or all, so this is a no-brainer. In this regard, you really want to upgrade that, and you also get an additional 20% health to Wakandan allies in raids as well, which is pretty huge, especially with the likes of M'Baku and his huge health pool as it is. So this is one that you do want to upgrade there. So quite a lot you want to upgrade over all the characters. Let's actually run through them all here now. So this list here is just the order that I covered them on. If you're looking for a rough list of priority, I'll actually put that as a pinned post in this video. But it's Black Panther with the basic ultimate and passive, Okoye the basic and passive, Killmonger it would be all of his abilities, in M'Baku you have the special ultimate and passive, and then Shuri you have the ultimate and passive as well. So as we spoke about earlier on in the video, they do require a ton of upgrades to make the most of them. Personally, I don't really feel they're worthwhile, because you can get a lot more bang for your buck out of other teams without having to invest as much into them, so do just bear that in mind. So let me know in the comments below what Tier 4 Essentials video you would like to see next. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you all again soon.